try that again. This is the Vintage Military Radio Net, and I'm your net control this Sunday. Henry in Dayton, WA7YBS, and Vintage Military Radio Net's a roundtable AM net. Allows licensed amateurs the opportunity to run their vintage military radio gear on the air. And vintage military radio gear isn't a prerequisite for checking into the net. You can check in with whatever you have. Subject of conversation generally is about vintage military radio gear, however. So anyway, let's see if we can pick up anybody else. Number 6 is open, Vintage Military Radio Net. If you want to check in, do it now. Okay, I got a feeling that conditions are going to limit or curtail the net today. So anyway, let's see. I'm running the KWS-1, and we're doing about 170 watts of carrier, and it's this way of actually tuning up for 250 mils and matching that to the Johnson Matchbox set for 50 ohms works really very well. I can get a lot more power, and it seems to be more efficient at a lot less plate current. So anyway, that's what we're doing with the KWS-1. We are an upper sideband reinserted carrier, and the receiver is the Collins Laboratory 51J4. That's the light gray panel, smooth finish type of J4s that they made for use at inside Collins Radio. And this one has the proper asset number on it that identifies it as Collins property. So it's a very nice 51J4, naturally, since it was always at Collins. So anyway, that's the rundown of the station. Collinear array for the antenna, and a Johnson kilowatt matchbox is the antenna coupler. So anyway, let's go up to the top. We have number 1 spot, Jerry, W6GRY. Number 2 spot is Chuck, K0DWC. Number 3 spot is Steve, W6SSP. Number 4 is Bill, N6BCT. Number 5 is Larry, WR6K. So, over to Jerry, W6JRY. Go ahead, this is WA7YBS, Vintage Military Radio Net.
Okay, very good. This is W6JRY. Good morning, Henry and Chuck, Steve, Bill, and Larry. I'm copying everybody. Henry, you're about neck and neck with Steve as far as the loudest here. I'm copying you okay, Chuck, but I'm not sure what you're running. You mentioned about 15 to 20 watts, so I'm not sure what you're on. Maybe the TCS, and haven't put the amplifier on it yet, but we are copying you. Probably about an S5 or 6, I would guess, if I had an S meter here. We're running the usual Navy ART-13 and the Navy RPM 4 here this morning. Well, I don't know what today, I guess it's Father's Day. That might be slowing some of the people down with other plans. But right now my noise level is down, although I did hear some, a little bit of arcing, snapping, crackling, and like you said, Henry, you never know when something's going to come on. I have some things around here that it just takes the weather to get up, the heat to get up, and then they take off, and they're there all day long. And that might be the case here, but so far the noise level is pretty decent right here. So, let me get it over to you there, Chuck, and I hope you're copying okay. K0DWC, W6JRY.
Okay, Jerry. W6JRY. K0DWC. Yeah, Jerry, you're right. I'm running the TCS 13 on there. bullpup. The amp is on, but I didn't put the switch to not one lower power. So anyway, yeah, we're on the TCS 13 this morning, running about 120 watts, and going out to an inverted V, and using a 217 microphone with the electro module in it. So that's kind of the rundown here. Well, you know, nobody's aware of the problem. Like Henry said, the noise level is really good this morning for now. I hope Bill is 100% happy, and Larry is 100% happy. Of course, Steve was, and you as well, Bill. And of course, Henry's rattling the dust off my windows. So anyway, good morning to everybody. Thanks for being there. And I know some of you guys probably do have a high noise level this morning, so you know. The lack of stations is probably understandable, plus the fact that it is probably slow, so I'm sure that makes a little bit of a difference. But anyway, let's have a plan. We will send it down to Steve, W6SSP, this is K0, BWC.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. Steve, Dakota to Santa Rosa. And the usual columns, 32V1 transmitter. 85 watts or so out. And anyway, hey, everybody sounds like I mentioned before, very, very high noise levels here. So definitely PG noise. And during the day on 40 meters, it's up down to S7 or S8. Quite as bad this morning, but still pretty bad. Anyway, everybody sounds good. Jerry and Tony are not bad. Check us out a little more with QCS. And if anybody has any suggestions on how to do it from this, I'm open to any suggestions or comments or anything like that. At the end of my road, I've checked out components, check the tune circuit with a good bit meter, and that works. I think that maybe TCS 14 receiver also needs to be a phase isolated. So any suggestions would be appreciated. So, N6 BCT, W6 SSP. Yeah, Bill, go ahead. Larry, go ahead, WR16, it's your turn. Turn it back to me, WA7YBS, when you're finished. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, well, actually not here down on the station, not here. But I was hearing everyone else. Henry, you're about 20 over. I got an S9 noise level, so you're about 20 over. Other stations, there's 10 over maybe. And the last station was in the noise. So I just want to check in, say hi to everybody this morning since I'm up this late. I mean, this early. I think I was up around 3:30 or 4 o'clock this morning. I just couldn't go back to sleep. But I fell asleep around 11. So that's difficult for me. But I'm glad to be able to check in. Yeah, I don't think too many people checking because it's Father's Day. I got my boys coming over later this afternoon, and they're going to bring over lasagna. I can't really eat too much, but I'm going to have a piece anyway. I got to stay away from the tomato sauce these days. Got to stay away from things that are high in potassium. Too much potassium will stop your heart. And, in my case, it comes up, you know. You get older, your body doesn't deal with things the way it used to. So that's the way it is. But it's still good to be around, that's for sure. I'm running I'm running about 300 watts maybe, and it's peaking about 600. At least that's what the meter says. I hope the audio sounds pretty decent. 20 watts into an AL80A. I'm not running anything here. I don't have it, and I don't have room for it, and I wouldn't know how to use it if I did have it. Oh my. Now, I was in the Navy, but I was not a communication guy. I was in a nuclear power program, so I didn't get very close to any of the Navy gear. I did work on R390s when I was in what they call sea school, and that was my only exposure to an R390, and I think I worked on the 1051 transmitter, the UHF transmitter. So that's about it, and that was just in school, so I really didn't get a lot of exposure to it, and never have since. So, but I sure do have a lot of interest in it, and I like to hear the gear on other yeah. So I saw some of the work that Ron did, and I know a lot of the other fellows have done it too, fixing up their own gear. And it's just, I won't say it inspires me, but it certainly impresses me. Anyway, I'll keep it short. I hope the signal's strong enough for everybody to hear. And I'm surprised that there are some stations running less than me. Like I said, I'm only running. Let me stop here. I'm gonna stop talking a minute. Yeah, it dropped down to about 200, 300, somewhere between there, and then peaking around 600. And probably to peak more, but maybe the meter's just not catching it. But if anybody's hearing me well, give me a good critical audio report, because I heard there was a little buzz on my signal last time, and I'd like to know if it's still there. Anyway, that's about it. Looking forward to celebrating Father's Day with my son and daughter-in-law. Maybe my other son will stop over, and my daughter probably will not. I see her all the time anyway, so that's not too big a deal. Anyway, that's it. Age here, by the way, is 74. Yeah, 74. And I don't know how many years are left. But maybe up to about 80 if I'm lucky. But I mentioned one more thing. Interesting, a real good quote. You know, we lost, who's the guy there? He's getting engaged to the Pentagon station. And he said to his family and friends that were all around him on his final day, he said to him, he says, if I knew it was going to be, he said, I knew if dying was going to be this easy, I would have done it sooner. What a quote. Anyway, I just really enjoyed that. Anyway, number 3, everybody, I'll come around again if the technicians are still available, if I can still hear everybody. But boy, oh boy, it is rough topic. WR6K, and back to you, Henry. You turn it over. I think back to Nigeria, whoever number 1 is. WR6K, 73, not 73, but we'll go one more round, I think.
Okay. WR6K, WA7, YBS. Okay, very good. Well, 100% copy on everybody. Everybody's putting in a decent signal in here. You know, it's not over F9 and stuff. You know, it's very terrible audio, which brilliant bird sound. And it's very, very easy to copy. Of course, jumping just a mile and a half away, so yeah, no problem there, Steve. Good signal there. 32B1, you're 20 dB on the carrier level meter, which is easily copyable at like a 7 or so. Bill is about the same, 7, and doing fine. And well, we're also about 20 dB on the carrier level meter, which is not like a 7. So that's very good. Let's see if there's anybody else out there. Anybody else want to check into the Vintage Military TV? Number 6 is open. If you want to check in, do it now.
This is W6 Alpha, Quebec, uniform.
Whiskey 6, Mike, Quebec, W671.
Okay, there's Bob and Dave. So W6 AQU, better turn it to you, and then you turn it to Dave, W6MQI, and Dave turn it back to me, WA7YBS. And when we get there, we'll run down the list and get to you guys. Let's go. So Bob, it's a good signal, WS6AQU, WA7YBS.
Okay, Henry, thank you. Spawning you, W68 Bueno. I guess I got in here late. For some reason. Just standing down at 7:30. Still out there on training at Do-It-Yourself Shed. Arrived a couple days ago here. Alrighty, folks, so far I heard KRY. Chuck. I heard Steve. And Bill was got stored in just a little bit, so I didn't stop there. Bill over there. That's okay. And WQK is very loud and good. Whatever we power your money there in the
Okay, Bob. Yeah, we for the summer we're officially starting at 7:15, quarter after 7, and I just got in at 7 o'clock just to, because I figured that conditions probably weren't going to be very good, so better get started early. So yeah, normally for the duration of the rest of the summer, probably September or so, we'll be starting at 7:15. So that's pass. Let's turn it over to Dave, W6MQI. Go ahead and turn it back to me, WA7YBS. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, I wasn't really, I've been listening in, wasn't getting check in condition. Technically just Bob, really slow, I might hear something, but no copy of Bob. Bill is pretty much non-existent. Chuck, rough copy on Chuck. Even Steve was loud here. Jerry was doing okay. There's rough copy today. And we're on the TTK 7, listening with the 7584 receiver. So that's the rundown here. Back to you, Henry. Keep wanting to call you Bob. Thank you, Henry. WA7YBS.
Okay, Dave. W6MQI, WA7YBS. Okay, very good. Yeah, you're Q5 here. Bob was about... Everybody's running about the same except Chuck and Jerry. And that's about 20 dB, about S7 or so on the 51J4. So, Q5 copy, no problem. And, of course, everybody knows Ron is off over there in the Flores and the Azores. So Ron won't be back in U6F for 3 or 4 months. I think he comes back in late September or so. So anyway, that's where Ron is. And let's see if there's anybody else out there. Number 8 is open, Vintage Military Radio Net. If you can hear us, check in. Number 8 is open. Go ahead if you want to check in. Okay, nothing heard. Let me run down the list. I think Bob and Dave have it, but it's number 1 is Jerry, W6JRY. Number 2 is Chuck, 80DWC. 3 is Steve, W6SSP. Number 4 is Bill, N6BCT. Number 5 is Larry, WR6K. He's an old-time check-in. Used to check in a lot on the 3870 net on Saturdays. And he was in San Jose at that time. Now he's in Sacramento. So he's a lot easier copy for us up here in Dayton. And then number 6 is Bob, W6ATU. Number 7 is Dave, W6MQI. Okay, well, my announcement, kind of crummy conditions to make the announcement, but Friday, I picked up the W6MIT Big Rig. It's been over in Yarrington for the past 5 years. I managed to talk WA1 ICI 407, who has had it, into selling it to me. So I now not only have W6MIT's 1625 rig, but I have W6MIT's Big Rig. It's a 450 watt AM transmitter. It's a 4-250A modulated by a pair of 572Bs. And so anyway, there's a few things missing in the transfer of the transmitter from John's QTH up to Reno and then over to Yarrington and then to me. There's a few things missing now, but it's all correctable. And it's mostly in the audio chain. There was too many tempting pieces of audio equipment there, like the 50-watt Macintosh amplifier and the stay level broadcast leveler. And there was some sort of equalizer and things like that. And of course the super microphone that John had. That stuff's all gone. And then the most important thing that's missing was the control panel. And so I'm going to have to build a control panel for it. Luckily, it's not very much stuff, just switches and jacks and a couple of relays and a 24-volt power supply. So it's not a big issue. And I have a Williamson ultralinear amplifier to drive the audio chain. So anyway, look for John's W6MIT's Big Rig to show up, maybe in the next couple months. So anyway, with that, let's go back to the top. And I think we can probably get through one more. And so let's try it and see what happens. So Jerry, W6JRY, go ahead, WA7YBS.
Okay, Henry, WA7YBS, the group W6JRY. Okay, yeah, the QSB is getting more pronounced, and that's pretty typical of summertime conditions here. But so far, good copy on everybody. Got a little bit of adjacent channel stuff that popped up here at the bottom of the hour, but that's kind of usual too. Henry, all okay on picking up the W6MIT's Big Rig there? Well, it's configured there in like a 6-foot rack arrangement, maybe. It sounds familiar to me a little bit. My first high-power transmitter was a pair of 4-250s. It's kind of it was a ARRL handbook thing back in the 1950s, and I put some pictures on QRZ of some of my stuff, but I haven't had a chance to put titles to them. So there is a picture of me standing by my 6-foot rack cabinet rig that I built when I was 18, and it used a pair of 4-250s with a pair of 810s for the modulators, and I drove it with, I think, one of the Viking Rangers back then, back in the good old early AM days. Okay, on you there, Chuck, after you got the amp on there so far. And Steve, you were a good copy there, the last one around on the 32V. Bill copied you on your transmission there, and okay on the, I think you said they were working on a roof, and you still had to go up the hill or something to use your cell phone for phone communication, so I guess apparently they have your landline disabled at your QTH there. Larry down in Sacramento, I remember you last time around, a friend of Ron's, and what you're running there with the LED amplifier with, I don't remember the commercial transceiver you're using there, but anyway. Bob, you didn't tell us what you're using. Maybe a BC610, possibly. And Dave, on this TCK7, got that, 75A4. And we're on the usual here. I think I mentioned that first time around. So I don't want to hold it too long, and I'll get over to you there, Chuck. K0, DWC, and the group with a TCS13. Maybe you can help Steve out there. I never had any problems with the oscillators with the TCS. I had the TCS14s, the receiver and the transmitter, the Collins ones, and never ever had any trouble with VFOs in them, with the oscillators in them. But I don't have mine anymore. That got sold here back when I got rid of quite a bit of my, portion of some of my military equipment and so on. So, and I got a lot more things I'd like to get rid of here if anybody's interested or looking for anything. Okay, over to you there, Chuck. K0DWC and the group W6JLY.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, John, W6JLY, K0DWC. Well, you're still pounding in here, but I think QSB is slowly creeping up on me. And really the first time around, I didn't have any noise or anything at all, but this last time I got some QSB on him. But Larry's audio was, other than the QSB, his audio sounded really good, I thought, here. Very easily understandable, clear and really crisp for the conditions. So Larry, I think your audio sounds good over here in Dayton. And yeah, Joe, I'm like you. I've never had any problem with that either with this set. I put this set together, and everything just kind of fell into place on this thing for whatever reason. I mean, I was glad it did, but I've had no appreciable problems with this set since I've had it. This is probably 3 or 4 years now ago that I've had this set. But I do know that Mike bought a whole bunch of TCS stuff at Brad's, and I think he's probably getting ready to go through that stuff now. He would be the guy to check with, Steve. I think, I'm pretty sure he's good on QRZ. You could probably shoot him an email, and he could probably help you out, because he has dug into those transmitters quite a bit. I've gotten stuff off of him in the past before, and he's just purchased another complete set of TCS equipment at Brad's here beginning of this month. So Dave might be able to help you too with that. Dave has delved into the TCS as well, and Dave, I don't know, maybe you can help him. He's having oscillator problems with his TCS14. So maybe you could give him a word here or there maybe as to what may be going on there. But I've had no appreciable problems with mine. It's worked pretty good. So anyway, Well, keep it going because the conditions are getting pretty bad. I'll send it over to Bill, N6BCT in the group. This is K0 DWC. Go ahead, Bill, if you can hear me.
Let me break in there. I think Steve is there. I don't think he said 73. Are you still there, Steve, W6SSP?
Okay, well, I could not copy you, except I heard you say turn it over to me. So I'll take one more. And I'll keep it very short. I really appreciate the no problem. That's all come along. And I missed the winter. I should have tried to check in a little sooner during the winter time. But anyway, it's good to hear everybody, and Jerry Houston was nice and clear, thick body. I was using the copy, about 20 over. I've got a message on your phone, so if you're not at least 10 over, copy gets pretty difficult. Anyway, I'll make this by 73 round. I'll say best of luck to everybody. Happy Father's Day, and we'll try to check in again next Sunday morning. I've been getting up early lately. Watch a little bit of Meet the Press and keep my eye on the clock. And I got to figure out. Right now, my wife is calling said I'm messing up the TV. It's not so much I'm messing up the TV. It's a Wi-Fi link. Our TV is still on cable. When I get on with high power, it doesn't matter what the band is. I mess it up. But we're going to be switching over to over-the-air antenna tunes, and I've done some tests. It doesn't bother that much. And we're going to be getting over that pretty soon. She doesn't know how to use it because all her channels are different from the cable. So I've got to show her how to use it so that we're going to go off cable on there pretty soon. That's the cable. Up. I'm going to produce some new hand equipment after a couple of years. Anyway, 7-3, and we'll talk to everybody next Sunday. God willing, in the Big Show Ride. WR6K.
Bob, W6ATU. Go ahead and make your transmission there. Larry has signed. So go ahead, Bob.
Okay, very good. W6 Able. Queen Uncle. Well, I had to shut down this T3 there for a minute. I had quite a heterodyne on frequency. And I discovered with the T3, for some reason, and it was generating a signal in KCOA. Figure that one out. I haven't scratched my head a while on that. Well, okay, 7 thanks to IRK down there. There, you've got quite a signal up there. Jerry's the strongest. Chuck's coming in there right next to you. Steve up there. BCT is still pretty difficult to copy here. And I'm not sure if MQI was in here or not. I might have been using last week's full publishing. Got him down, but I haven't heard him. All right, Jerry, you're going to get rid of stuff. So I tried one more. I think you're talking about wanting to get rid of one of those heavy jobs. What is it, a 922 or something? You might mention if that was so. And does that use those 3 500Zs or $500 a pair, something like that? My comment on that, Jerry. All right, well, I'm moving down here, 7:15. So I shall be here probably earlier next weekend. So with that, if MQI is not in here, it's got to go back to Henry. So this is W6 Able, Queen Uncle, Montague, listening.
You turn it over to me?
Yes, he did. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, W6MQI. Shoot, Bob, you came in loud and clear for like 15 seconds, then you faded off on me. But, wow, yeah, conditions are really bad today. That's the best station I'm hearing is Larry, WR6A, indicates up in Sacramento. He's the loudest here, so. And let's see, Steve, the BFO. Yeah, I never had any problems with that either, but I will check my supply of parts. I may have an extra BFO plug-in unit or whatever you want to call it. I think it is possible to change those things out. Well, I would probably change any of those mica capacitors that are around that, even if they, even if they're test good, I'd probably get rid of them. And make sure the trimmer cap inside that BFO can isn't shorted out. I don't know if you notice any change when you tweak that thing or not, but if it's shorted out, the plates have collapsed on each other. Obviously it's not going to work. So, but I'll check my junk supply and see if I have an extra one here. I took apart a junk receiver that I got from Jason when I bought the DTK7. The receiver was so far gone it wasn't worth repairing, but I got a lot of interesting parts out of it anyway. But, alright guys, well I'm going to say 73 here and get on with my day. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I'm going to spend my day bringing my mother back from skilled nursing, getting her set up back in her house. So that's what I'm going to be doing all day today. So again, 73 everybody, and hopefully talk to everybody next week. So off to Henry, WA7YBS, W6MQI.
Okay. W6MQI, WA7YBS, and okay. Looking at the grid current. That is the telltale on the KWS1, and no matter how loud I talk, it doesn't say, there we go. Okay, maybe a little bit of a bump there might help. I've noticed here in Dayton, anyway, conditions have gotten better. Most stations are running between 35 and 40 dB, so they're S9+, and no problem in copying. but that's that's here, and you're there, and that's the way things are. So 73 to Steve, W6SSP, and 73 to Larry, WR6K, and 73 to Dave. So we got Jerry, W6JRY, to Chuck, K0DWC, to Bill, and Bill, you turn it to Bob, W6ATU, but I'll probably have to relay for you. So anyway, let's see. Bob on that W6 MIT big rig is 4.5 feet tall. It's a tiny, comparison, tiny rack. It's a small rack, and that doesn't mean it isn't heavy. That thing's got to be 250 pounds, and it's pretty darn heavy. Of course, you can pull the plate supply out very easily, and that's what we did to move it. And but yeah, it's not really very tall, and it's at 22 inches wide standard rack, 17 inches deep, and then about maybe 54 inches tall, and it's on wheels. Although I may replace those casters because the two back casters are straight in line; they don't swivel, and it sure makes that thing hard to roll around. You need to have 4 swivelers on that thing. And so, anyway, I just picked it up Friday, and that's from WA1ICI Portable 7, and his QTH is out in Yerington. And so, anyway, we'll be working on the MIT, W6 MIT's big rig. Hope they have it on maybe in 6 weeks or so, maybe in 2 months. And so we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the 73 round while we still got a pad. And so to Jerry, W6JRY, pounding in here, Jerry, you're over 40 dB on the carrier level meter, so top dog today. W6JRY, WA7YBS.
Oops, okay, fine, Henry, WA7YBS in the group W6JRY. Okay, yeah, still copying everybody, but, well, the QSB is getting a little more pronounced and so on. So I don't have much of anything else there. Bob, no, I'm not getting rid of any. I have 2 linear amps, and I'm keeping those with my main, more modern equipment there. Kind of what I'm referring to, I think, more as far as I want to get rid of it. They are some of the heavier pieces of equipment, but there's basically some of the old tube communications receivers. I have got about 25 or so of them, and I'm going to start kind of seeing what I can do to get rid of some of those. I could have made it over to Brad's. I would have hauled some over there, but maybe next year. Anyway, I do have a bunch of those. I'm going to try to pass along, do something here with them or whatever. Anyway, I'll say 73s all the way around, and hope to see everybody next weekend. So everybody have a good day. My daughter's inviting us down for Father's Day this afternoon for dinner, which she usually does, and so hope we have a good time down there. So over to you, Chuck. Take care, and we'll say our 73s, and everybody have a good rest of the day there. K0, DWC in the group, W6JRY. 73s, but we'll be listening.
Okay, Jerry, W6JRY, K0DWC. Well, you take care today, Jerry. Enjoy your Father's Day, and give Sharon our very best, and we hope you guys have a great day. We hope all you guys have a good day today. So, anyway, let's see. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes Henry and I have different, the conditions are a little different between Henry and I, even though we're a mile and a half apart, but the conditions here, haven't gotten better, but I'll just say that they haven't gotten worse either. I can still copy everybody, including Bill. I mean, that's an accomplishment on this TCS. But, I mean, I do have some QSB on most everybody, but it's negligible at best. But anyway, What's that sound by 73s? Henry, I was picking through some stuff. Believe it or not, I found 4 brand new 360-degree caster wheels from 3 inches. So I'll run them over to you here in a little while. If not, I'll give you a card. I'll give you a loan line card. They've never been used. I don't even know where I got them or how I had them. So anyway, I will say 7 3s and keep it going. So let's see. Steve is signed already. And Bill, M6BCT in the group. Go ahead and take it, Bill. This is KZODWC 73s, guys. And like I said, I'll give you a higher here in a while. Go ahead.
Bill, N6BCT, go ahead and make your transmission 73 round. I hope you can copy. BCT, N6BCT, go ahead and make a transmission. This is WA7YBS.
Yeah, he's in there, Henry, but he's talking now. But he signed earlier, but I think he's just trying to sign out.
Okay. Well, that's the first time. I mean, I've always been able to copy Bill. I might not be able to understand him, but I can always tell he's in there. But man, that was nothing. But anyway, let's turn it over to Bob. Thanks, Jerry, for the relay. W6AQU, WA7YBS. Go ahead, Bob. Okay, I think that Dave probably had a lot of stuff to do. It sounded like he was going to be pretty busy today. So anyway, very good. Well, it was kind of tough conditions, but we made it through. Thanks everybody for participating in the Vintage Military Radio Net. Chuck will be net control next week. Hopefully we'll have better conditions. I don't know about starting at 6:15. I have a hard enough time. You know, it's at 7 o'clock. But we'll see. I mean, conditions, I don't know. They've kind of been the same for the entire hour. They really haven't been, you know, dramatically different. Although signals, for me anyway, did pick up in the last 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes. Anyway, 73 all around. Everybody have a good week coming up. And as I say, Chuck will be net control next week. So, thanks for your participation. This is WA7YBS closing the Vintage Military Radio Net and signing 73.